Hi, it's Nicola and welcome. Today we're talking about how to take the headache out of high resolution images. Today's show is sponsored by the Structure Success video training, and this is great for organising a basic outline for your book, whether you're writing an autobiography, a memoir, a biography or other life story project. I'll have more about that later, so stay tuned. If you're new to Forever Young Autobiographies, it's the place where we learn to write life stories for family and friends so that unique memories can live on. I'd be really grateful if you could follow, subscribe and like the show. Now, I'm a journalist and a life story writing coach, and I get asked lots of questions by readers. So in this Q&A today, we have this question, which was sent in. It says, "Help! I'm getting my book printed and have been told the JPEG pictures are not good enough quality. What does that mean? How to fix?" Now, this is a common question, but it's essential that you have good quality pictures for your book. You don't want them to come back, your book to come back with images that are blurry or pixelated, or worse, there's just a blank white hole where they should have been. We don't want these horror stories. So today I'm going to go over some common concerns for high resolution images. The first one that comes to mind is, what exactly is a high resolution image? So again, we want the high quality images for the book printing process. And when we think about a printing process, just briefly, it's basically, when it boils down to it, just dots on a page that together make up an image. Now, some people refer to this as dots per square inch. Basically, the more dots you have in a square inch, the higher detail and the better quality the image will be on the printed page. And of course, the bigger the file size. So remember that, dots per square inch tells you how big the resolution is for your image. So that's point number one. The other common question is, what sizes are high resolution images? And this is a really good one because you can change the size of an image, the size that it's physically printed, but you need to know about its resolution and how that affects what you're using it for. So if you're using an image in a digital, for a digital purpose, this could be for a digital document or for an email, you're going to choose a low DPI, around 72 DPI. But if you're wanting to print this photo hard copy in a book or as a feature article, you want a high quality photo. You want a higher DPI of say 200 to 300 DPI. This means it's a higher quality. You will also, as an aside, hear photos and resolution described by pixels. Now, a pixel is a measurement unit that's illuminated for display. And again, if you have a low resolution photo, then the pixels per square inch, or the PPI, is lower than a higher quality pixel aided image, which is a higher PPI. Now, don't get too bogged down with that, because there are places on the internet, such as the pixel calculator, that can tell, say for a standard photo, what the DPI is versus the pixel measurement. So if you need to find out the correlation, head online to, say, pixel calculator. The next point that people have issues with or questions around is, how can you tell if an image is high resolution or high quality or not? How do we know? And that's a great point, because there's some really simple ways you can do this. The first way is to use a software on your computer or on your phone. Now, simply, if you're using a Microsoft product, you could probably go to Microsoft Paint. Or if you're in a Mac environment, you could go to the Paintbrush app, which is an imaging editing app or software. Open that up, and along the bottom on the status bar, it will usually tell you the DPI and the size. Otherwise, go to a menu and find that kind of image resize or image status. Look in there and you'll be able to tell if it's high resolution or not. Another way you can find out if an image is high resolution or not is to look at its file size. So go to the image's properties and see how big it is. Now, Computer files are saved in different format or different measurements. So you have the lowest being kilobytes, then megabytes, and bigger gigabytes. So if you're looking at an image that is small in DPI, say 72 DPI, that might only be 40 kilobytes. But if you've got the same image that is saved at a higher DPI, or say 300 DPI, that could be, say, 265 kilobytes. So you know by looking at these figures which one is the higher quality and the higher DPI, higher resolution. The third way that you can check if an image has a high resolution is to save it at the exact size that you want it printed into a PDF. And then as a PDF, open the file and see it at 100%. If it looks pixelated or blurry, that's probably how it's going to come out. And you can also print this on your home printer and just double check. But remember, your home printer is going to be different to the one that your book's actually printed on. So this is just a good guide to say, oh, yeah, need to fix that up. So that's 3 ways you can tell if an image is high resolution or not. The last point I want to bring up is, how do we get high resolution images? Now, the best way to do this, of course, is to start with a high resolution image. If you've got a hard copy photo that you want to scan, make sure you select the high resolution DPI of, say, 2 to 300. Don't go with the default of, say, 100 or 72 DPI. And likewise, if you're about to do a photo shoot of taking photos or of, a loved one for their book, you want to make sure that you're shooting with high quality files, or the images will be recorded on your phone or your camera as high quality. Make sure you've got that setting. And if in a pinch you can't do any of this, but you've got the file and you know it's low quality, a low DPI, you can change that. You can resize it. Now, it's not going to be perfect because you're working with less and you're trying to make more. But if you go to that software that I mentioned earlier, the Microsoft Paint or Paintbrush, go in and resize it that way. But it is a bit of a stopgap. Don't rely on it for being perfect. It won't be as good as if you started with a high resolution setting from the beginning. So there you go. That's the easy ways to image resize and save high resolutions images like a pro. And I'm just going to recap. We talked about what is a high resolution image, the different sizes of high resolution images, also how you can tell if an image is good quality, high resolution, and finally how to make high resolution images. Now, I just hope this clears all the technical fog for you and helps you figure out and master photos for high resolution for your book. And do it right now. Don't let this stop you getting your book printed. All of this will be over at my website at foreveryoungautobiographies.com/high resolution images. So that's plural, high resolution images. And I'll have all the resources over there linked that I've mentioned in the show. So please check it out. And while you're there and while you're here, leave me a comment. Have you got any other questions for me about pictures or something completely different to do with putting out your book or a loved one's life story? Drop me a comment at foreveryoungautobiographies.com/contact. And earlier I mentioned the Structure Success Training. This is a free video training and it's great if you're starting your autobiography or another life story project. You want to come up with a basic chapter outline full of key events and memories. And this is a good roadmap too, or a good checkpoint if you're going through the process of writing a book and you need to just check you're on the right track. So please sign up for that one. It's completely free and a really good resource. You can go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/structure success sign up. So please make use of that. Now I'll be back again soon with a new topic and I'll be grateful if you could follow, subscribe and like the show. So until then, happy writing.